splatter them all over the place. So yeah, that's
So,
how
I
it's
see
done.
it like you push them down with your left-hand shield, and once you got them all stacked up, you just drop the shield for a moment and just like Vikings that dude. If you've ever seen Vikings,
Yep.
they always like slow motion wide
Yeah.
shot cut the guy's throat.
I really hope that there are people watching tonight because this is freaking too
There
cool.
are a couple people watching
And-
tonight. Yeah. It's
I,
not as many as the days when we had 15, but
now I still have a 5 foot, so I will 5 foot to there.
well,
And
I mean, you moved as part of your bull rush, so I don't think you get to.
Okay, so that takes away. Yeah, all right, that's fine. That's cool. That works well.
Gonna move there.
Well, you can't speak in Aquan, and I don't know what they said. I was going to say, he says real smart alecky, yeah, we're in. But I don't speak Aquan, so I don't know what they said. And I will end my turn.
All right. They're going to provoke AOs from all three of you as they just start jumping in the bay.
And that is what this character was built to do.
Let's see. I have
like
combat
this new
reflexes, so I
improved
can...
Scourge, right? Back to basics.
Gonna use combat reflexes and take AOs on all of them.
Okay, yeah, Scourge just fucking slices one of them apart. Kamakuri and Aces roll on the other one. So
and
like
the
one of
third
them
one?
tries jumping over Kamakuri, and Scourge just like grabs him, pulls him back, and just axes him in the back of the head.
Third
I
one?
get 3
Tries
up
to run
attacks.
underneath Maelstrom. Kamakuri just like roundhouse kick, whips his legs out from underneath him, and then Maelstrom's just like bird beak to the back of the skull.
Oh wait, there are only 2.
So all 3 of them are dead?
Oh yeah,
All
you
3 of them are
killed
dead?
one. You killed one already, so there were only 2, yeah.
So
okay, good.
At that point, all
Yeah.
the NPC guards come downstairs fully armed, and they're like, all right, we're ready to go now. Let's do this.
Crisis averted. Back to your posts.
All right, back to sleep.
I go back
Scourge looks
into-
down. He's still got a sheet wrapped all around him. He'll stagger back to bed.
I say, wait. I go back into human form. They was looking for the pearl and the necklace. I have the necklace right now.
Oh, those things we were trying to offload?
Yeah. Well, I
Master
stole it off.
Scourge, your prowess in battle doesn't. Your reputation precedes you, and I'm most impressed how you pancaked those fish folk.
I bet you do.
Would you say you fish fried them? Speaking of which, it's almost fishing season here in Delaware, and so if I decide to randomly drop off and not play Skulls and Shackles some Sunday, because I'm on a fucking boat catching some bull drumfish.
Sounds like awesome sauce.
Got that drumfish.
Yeah.
Yeah, that talk during the zombie game about drumfish in southern New Jersey, that's an actual experience. You gotta catch them drumfish.
That thing.
55 pounds of delicious.
And of course, I'm looking at this guy. What does he even mean? Drumfish.
Drumfish, so good.
Fish with drums.
And then when they at night they make their mating call, which sounds like drums. They're like bum 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 bum.
That actually sounds pretty cool.
It's crazy too. Like they're pretty deep underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I go back on top to guard duty, and I guess I start chatting with the guy over here. So you're mistress of the what's the name of it? Alan. Nice lady, huh?
Smithy, Lady Smithy.
Lady Smithy. She's a very nice lady.
And Royster is like, aye, she is. Now that there's no more captain's marriage, I don't see why y'all are staying here. I hope to resume my previous engagements with the lady.
What's your previous engagements?
He starts like ripping him. He's like, previous engagements, if you know what I mean.
Nice.
Alright, I need to look up what lifelink means.
Yes. Wait a minute. So
It
the
means
captain.
if you lose 5 or more hit points in a turn, at the start of Adam's turn, he gives you 5 and loses 5 himself.
I asked a question. Can't we just marry Captain Surge with the thing for we can stay here?
Maybe, but
You might want to ask Scourge about that first.
Maybe, but they'd both have to agree to it again.
No.
All right,
Okay.
Scourge staggers back to bed, throws his action shield down handy, and falls in the bed. He's snored immediately.
Okay, I guess the next day I kind of talked to our elf. Yeah, we need another captain marriage arrangements, just because we need a base of operation.
Before that happens, there are a number of crew concerns that come to the new ship's officers. It's come to light that Alaris is on a holy quest, right? So he's kind of not being subtle about the fact that he's looking for the Seven Swords of Dahak, these holy elven artifacts that he himself, an ancient lore keeper of elven knowledge, is looking for. And if you'll remember, the crew took on a follower of Callistria as an entertainer, a priestess,
Yes.
to entertain. Let's put it
Yes.
delicately. And
Yeah.
she comes to him with a complaint, and she's like, Lord Keeper Alaris, I have some complaints about the way that the ship has been run. I hope that you would be able to take to the new management. My concern is that the elven goddess Callistria has been underrepresented. I understand on the front of the ship there are holy symbols of both Besmara and Dahak represented. However, I have not been allowed to preach the great word of Callistria. I wish to have sermons every Sunday where I can talk to the men about the greatness of lusting for life and enjoying your passions. Could you speak to the new captain about that for me?
I would be happy to. First thing in the morning, he needs
Well, this
his
is the
sleep.
morning. This is
It's not
Oh,
a good
I'm
idea to wake him up.
Oh, okay.
okay. So
I would be happy to do so. I do want to. I share your passion for Callistria, and I would like to see her represented here on the ship. I think it would do the crew good, um, including our enemies, to let them know that the power of the elf should never be underestimated.
excellent. I love this elven racism.
Speaking of the fashion race.
So Kamakiri is human, right?
Yeah.
So you're approached by Clinton. If you remember, the cabin steward's name is Winton. By no relationship, his replacement steward, currently the officer busboy, the officer's cabin boy, his name is Denton. And
Of
his
course.
nephew, who is the mess officer, his name is Clinton. And Clinton comes to you, Kamakiri, and he's like, excuse me, brother, have you heard the good word today?
Oh God.
I do not believe I have.
So he hands you like a business card that says Homeland First. He's like, this ship is mostly crewed by humans, fortunately, and we're just human enthusiasts looking to watch each other's backs. A couple of the crew below decks thought that you might be a good recruit for making sure the officers of the ship respected our humanity.
Oh
If
man.
you guys remember, you did hear it wasn't called Homeland First. He called it Homeland something else. But back in the bar fight, the guy who was starting fights with aces was insulting him for being an orc. He was part of one of the Homeland organizations. And so he's just, going through like humanity propaganda with you. He's just, humans rule the surface. We're just looking to make sure that you're on our side, Kamakiri. Can we count on you?
Gut him now and apologize later.
He's like looking at
Certainly.
you pretty expectantly. Okay, you say yes. Are you
Wait,
bluffing?
no.
Or...
Certainly. When is the next meeting?
He says, "Oh, we don't have anything so formal as meetings. Perhaps you'll come by dinner below decks tonight. Most of our meetings take place away from the officers, you understand. The elf, the dwarf, the half-orc."
I'm just gonna go ahead and make this bluff check right now. It's like, of
Okay.
course, I would be happy to attend. I'd be happy to attend these non.
He's like, I just respected it more when we had a human as a captain. You know how it is.
Of course. Fuck.
Oh!
Fumble!
I'm just gonna roll this one in the open for lols. Oh!
Nice.
You really,
So this is
You
how
really-
it goes, right? So Kamakiri is like sweating, right? His eyebrow starts twitching. It's like watching an episode of Lie to Me where you could see all the obvious signs that someone's lying and they really play it up. And this kid's like 16, he's completely oblivious. He's like, yeah, this guy supports us.
all right.
Kamakiri like puts a hand on his shoulder. He's like, don't worry. I'm on your side.
Oh.
Sweat drenched down his face.
Looking down and to the right.
Now, for anybody else, a 14 would be a pretty alright bluff.
But you rolled a 1.
It's a natural one.
That's the thing about skill points. Natural ones don't say you're out of the game.
Wow, that's
When
just
I,
bad.
Now that this combat over, I'm changing out some of my spells since we have a full healer to more
Okay.
utility spells.
Well, speaking of you, Aces, Maelstrom, you're approached by someone, one of the riggers. So he catches up with you before you go to sleep, in the morning when everyone else is waking up, and he's like, "Excuse me, sir, have you heard the good word about the Cult of the Eye? I understand that you're the watch officer. I just thought you might take it up with the captain, that perhaps we could pass out some of our promotional flyers."
Okay, I look at the flyers. Linguistics check.
Oh, no linguistics. Like, it's all written in common. So it's like one of those like 3-panel flyers, and it's like on the front page, it's got like a picture of like a rodent's corpse, but with like 2 thumbs up and a smiley face. And it's like the drowned god, everything you need to know about the Cult of the Eye. And then it's like the Cult of the Eye is founded on the belief that a rodent's death in the Eye of Abedingo has brought forth the drowned god, a new proto-deity coming forth. And the third panel is like, all we need to do is choose how we wish to believe in that god, and as the nature of the higher planes dictates that belief becomes reality, what we believe the drowned god to be, he will be born as. And then it's got like, the Greater Council of the Cult of the Eye has decided on the following. If you believe in the following things, join us in the Cult of the Eye to shape the new god of the world.
I kind of just nod. Yes, I will offer this to the captain.
Okay.
Which I will. I ask when I go talk to Captain Siegfried. Well, after I take my power nap. Yo.
Scourge.
Oh, Captain.
Commodore Scourge.
Commodore Scourge.
Oh,
yeah.
Commodore Scourge. Wow, instant promotion too.
Right, remember, because you're the head of the Dolphin Fleet now. So
Yeah.
everybody owes you fealty.
Yeah.
Or at least
Commodore
they owe you an
Scourge.
eighth of their plunder.
Yep.
Okay, first thing, let's get this annoying thing out of the way. They show me this cult thing, and I'm supposed to offer it to you. Please say no.
We should get the rest
of
of
the
the.
stack of like 500 Cult of the Eye flyers.
Please say
Okay.
no.
They're in,
And
like,
we
brick
should get
formation.
the other officers together and discuss this.
So that's how you wake up, Scourge. Like all 3 of them come into the room at the same time with all their problems.
All right.
They try
Let's-
to enter the door at the same time too, and they all get stuck, and they have to back out and go in one at a time.
All right. Well, he's not talking to anybody until he's
As his alcohol.
had
need
his
vodka.
had his wake up.
All right, so you sit down for a hearty breakfast, and let's
All right.
discuss the issues facing the ship.
Yep.
And of course,
We can
the
discuss it
brutal
over
attack
breakfast.
last night. You should probably talk about that too. And while we're doing that, the Daily Bard arrives. Boom! Right at breakfast time.
Just magically
Just in
appears.
case you guys want to read it again, just to make sure you're up on current events, I'm also going to throw it down for the people in the chat. These daily bards are, of course, the thing I try to do weekly that catch you up on any campaign events that you missed, perhaps stories that interest me, and hopes for future side quests. And, of course, Galarian lore. So,
Often
when you guys are ready,
completely
go ahead and talk about all of your things.
Who wants to go first?
I would like
I
to
guess.
go first.
You do? Okay.
Okay. Because I bring out the pamphlet. One of the guys wanted us to hand these out. I understand if you want to say no. I really don't care. I'm just saying I'm trying to be nice. Please say no.
Which one is it?
It's the cult die.
Cult of the Eye. Yeah, we'll throw that guy over the board, over the railing.
Thank you.
That's stupid.
Thank you. Second thing, we don't have a captain manager with this lady that we're staying at, and she's been pretty nice, and it's nice to have a base. So I guess we will ask I point to the new guy, set up discussions.
Scourge literally stops with his spoon halfway to his mouth and just staring at you.
What? It's a political program. She's a noble. She knows people. It's the base of operation, and we have somewhere to keep our loot at that we don't have to pay the crew every time we go into port.
Do we have a spare captain?
Do you want to promote me for captain?
It'll have to be the captain of one of the other ships.
You keep a spare captain in the trunk just in case you.
Yeah. Do we have a spare captain in the trunk that wants to get married?
Do I know if Maelstrom is a noble, or is that he's keeping that under wraps? Because I have knowledge.
I think it definitely would have come up at dinner, right? So even during the rewind, we still had Portia trying to kill everyone.
Yeah.
During that period, she went off with aces and discussed nobility, so you probably would have caught some of that conversation.
Yeah, she's trying to teach me how to be a noble, but unfortunately,
how about yourself? You seem to be of noble blood, and you have been beginning your preliminary training. Wouldn't you be in the much more advantageous position to marry and further your family?
Well, unfortunately, I'm not a captain. Hence the name Captain Marriage.
You don't have to marry a captain. Is that the requirement?
I look towards who's our expert in captains' marriages?
I mean,
anyone have knowledge nobility?
I do. I have a point in it.
You can certainly make a roll attempt.
Yar.
So you know that captains' marriages exist. It's a thing that happens.
They are a thing.
And alliances are always good when we're in the Shackles because, alliance mean there are one less enemy we have to worry about.
Scourge is still sitting there with his spoon just staring at you. I don't even think he knows how to answer that. Are you seriously suggesting that I marry a human female?
It doesn't mean you have to do stuff with her. It's just for allies.
So it's not like a real marriage.
It's a marriage of title, I believe.
Whoa. Okay, first off, you guys have already gone through this. It is a real marriage in the eyes of Besmara.
Okay.
But it can be between any two captains they agree to share resources for 1 year's time. And at that time, if they don't appreciate each other, they just walk away.
How about this?
Just because we went through this doesn't actually mean Scourge paid any attention whatsoever.
I understand. But since you guys have no way of getting around to it, I assume you just ask someone who actually does know.
Yeah, we'll have to.
How about this, Mr. Scourge? You could be Commodore of the whole fleet, and I'll be the captain of the current ship, but I don't give orders just to have the marriage happen. As my point to the elf friend. How do you pronounce your name?
Commander, then? Commander Maelstrom?
I'm not doing it for the power. I'm doing this so we can have the alliance.
Pirating seems like a very dangerous profession. Is there any clause or anything in the contract about terminal existence failure?
If you die, your spouse gets all your stuff. It is a marriage, after all.
Well, what about the crew? What about the rest of the crew? What about the other officers? No.
What? Are they just going to take your ship and your stuff? No.
No, it's going to go to the other captain, yeah.
Yeah, that would be mutiny.
So, now,
but I mean, if we have independent captains of every ship, they would just be subordinate to the other person, not that the ship would just go away. So
I don't see the rush to make this decision today. I think we could wait and see how this, weeks and the months happen. And if we decide that we need a steady port, then, we can contemplate this another time. But I just don't understand why the urgency to...
No, I don't see the urgency. We have to think about these things.
Oh, definitely. No, I think it's a great idea. I just don't think a decision needs to be made today.
Okay.
Yeah, and I of course, Scourge will put it to the crew. I mean, to the officers. But if you guys think this is a good idea, and we can finagle it so that someone else can do the marriage, like have a Commodore and have a marriage. And yeah, I don't think any of that'll bother him. It doesn't affect the mechanical running of anything.
Because I like my job the way it is, being the lookout. I get my own personal crow nest. I get my room downstairs when I need my books to read. It's a sweet setup.
Plated crow's nest. It's lined
Yeah,
with
well,
fur as well.
So
Got a
much.
little
well-
lazy boy recliner in it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I've
I
been
think we
missing
can come
perception
back to
checks
this
lately.
one. I think we can come back to this one. Let's resolve the other issues that that the crew has concerns with.
Yes. Yes, Master Scourge. Oh,
Um,
Commodore Scourge. Master Commodore Scourge.
Just Scourge. So the Cult of the Eye.
I don't care for it. I just did it.
Honestly don't care as long as they're behaving. If they want to believe rats are coming back as whatever, sure, fine. I don't care.
Okay.
Did you
They're
say
not
rats?
promoting.
What?
You said something came back as the drowned god. You said a rat.
No, a rodent, the god of humanity who died.
Rodent. Oh, I thought you said a rodent.
No, a rodent.
A rodent, but there is a dead rat on the
I
cover.
was really That's religion's religion. I'm not getting. If that's what you believe, rats and
Like
gods.
me personally,
Sure.
I don't believe it, but the people came to me to talk to you
Yeah.
about it, and I don't want to ignore the cry of the thing and be that guy.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I don't care. They can have their cult and whatever, but it will not change. No one's religion will change behavior on the ship. It will not be tolerated.
I understand.
But yeah, they can have all, sure, whatever. That's fine.
Yes, my liege.
Well, speaking of religion, I've been approached by the ship's entertainer, and about the possibility of expanding the religious diversity on board. We currently have a Besmaran influence. We'd also like to couple that with Callistria influence. They're both passionate, chaotic gods that follow their whims, and we are searching for, and I'm very thankful for this, the 7 swords of Dahak, elven artifacts. So with your permission, we would like to set up a weekly sermon for any who would like to attend, and to also display Callistria next to our Besmaran as accepted holy symbols on board. Not to replace, but to add to.
I'm trying to think how Besmara would respond, and I don't remember anything about Besmara having any restrictions or complaints about specifically about any of the other deities. So no, I don't think that would be a big deal. Do we have anybody who's an expert on the Besmara?
Wow, yes, I do, sir. I grew up
I
in a
have knowledge
church.
religion.
I grew up in
Okay.
a church.
As long as our knowledge religion tells us there's not going to be any conflict. Yeah, sure.
So Besmara really isn't friends with any of the other gods, but she's also not enemies with them. She'll show up
Okay.
and raid their shit, but she shows up and raids everybody's shit.
But sure, she does that.
She does it
everybody.
equally. She
Okay.
isn't like, oh man.
Okay, yeah. What is this, Religion Week?
Thank you, Commodore. I will have the appropriate services started, and it would be a fine, not requirement, but it'd be a fine token if you would not attend every one, but just come and
Occasionally, sit in.
pop in occasionally, show your face. That's all.
Stand around in the general area. Yeah. All right.
Last order of business. Well, one of them.
There is a as of yet unknown number. There are an as of yet unknown number of crew members who are unhappy with having a non-human captain, and I flash the business card of, like, I will take care of it, but leave the decks open for viewing.
Investigate as much as you can, but let's bring it back to everybody about a decision once we find out how far this spreads before we do anything specific. I can't say Scourge would be the least bit surprised that someone resents not having a human captain, but before we take any action, let's come back together and discuss response, okay? And that also brings up something else that Scourge was thinking about. We should probably try to figure out a way for the crew to be able to make suggestions or bring forward complaints that doesn't turn into just a nonstop bitch session, but makes them feel like they have some say so. You know, is there such a mechanism in the lore of ships?
Yeah, first officer.
So they just bring it to the first officer, and that's
first officer is in
standard.
charge of crew relations.
Okay.
That it would be
All right.
whoever the master at arms is at, so it would actually be Kamakiri.
Oh wait,
Yes.
the master at arms is the first officer?
Yeah.
That seems. You're going to bring your complaint to the guy that's going to beat you with a whip.
Well,
That
maybe
seems
not with a whip.
counterintuitive.
I mean,
Maybe not with a whip.
first
maybe with
mate,
the-
on a ship is typically the executive officer. He's in charge of crew relations for the captain normally, right? Am I wrong about this?
Mhm.
Naval people,
No.
help me out here.
Not a Navy guy.
Haven't done that in a while.
I might not do it with whips. I might
If you'd
do
like
it with
to
the
assign
blunt
someone
end.
else as first officer, or
sabers.
just, like, let's call it public relations dude, you certainly can.
Yeah.
I am skilled at such matters. I usually keep the peace and know a
Okay.
little bit about everything.
You're it. You're first officer. Yay.
And I will be the one to turn to when things go awry.
Go wrong.
So
Oh, that's right.
Alaris, I
Scourge
guess,
doesn't have
is
to do
the-
punishment.
Alaris is the carrot and Kamakiri is the stick.
Yes.
All right.
I have some interesting new practices that
And Scourge.
I wish I won't have to implement, but if I have to try them, so be it.
All right.
And
then.
Scourge is the wide steel shod boot. All right. Anything else? Officers? Questions? Complaints? Concerns?
So you see Winton, your cabin steward, duck in real quick. He's like, sir, did you discuss the matter about the necklace?
Oh yeah,
Would you like some more dwarven ale while I'm here, by the way? We have some of the especially strong stuff.
You never have to ask that question again.
Of course.
Just 4.
So he like rolls like this huge keg in and just like into a beer stein without asking. So remember, this is like a breakfast meeting. Without asking, he just pours it for Alaris, Kamakiri, and Aces as well. Just basically assumes you guys are all going to win a dwarf beer stein-sized amount of like toxic black.
Okay, now
dwarf
that
alcohol.
might not be a good idea.
I'm like looking at it
Most
like,
ineffective crew on the 7 Seas. Yep.
yeah.
I'll take one sip.
All right.
You see your lips get cleaned
Tastes
off.
kind of like kelp. Very aromatic kelp. So yeah, it is
All
pretty
right.
effective at cleaning your teeth.
All right. As long as we don't have anything else, let's.
Well, there's the matter of the necklace, the Sahagan.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah.
We were trying to offload it. How much do you think the Sahagan are willing to pay for it?
They're fish guys with spears. They don't.
Pay.
There's
son.
no way that they're doing this on their own.
Oh yeah. By the way, what was their loot?
What was what?
Their gear that we took from them.
Oh, geez.
Oh,
They
The
just
Sawhagen.
That's it.
They just
okay.
have stuff.
You recovered
Okay.
8 normal tridents.
But also they had crossbows, and they heavy crossbows.
Oh, yep, you are correct. They had heavy crossbows, and they would have each had 18 bolts remaining.
Yeah, that's why I'm like crossbows are worth a
Okay.
pretty penny.
Okay.
Yeah,
You got
that's
8 crossbows.
Cool
All right,
stuff.
hold on. Today is the 24th, yeah? 25th. I'll add